Okay, so let's talk about how to assemble your poppet. So first of all, just looking over here, once you've printed out the templates that I've provided, you should have these pieces. So you're going to print out the template that has the head, the body, and the feet that you want and cut those out. And then there's another template that you can cut out from the Enchanted Gallery that is going to give you a head, and then these are going to be the two arms. So these things you want to print, and this you're printing on green paper. If you can find some green cardstock, and then you can print this out on white cardstock. So you should have all of these pieces. Now, what I recommend is adding a couple of extra pieces just for reinforcement. So for example, for the body, I like to cut out just another piece of cardstock. It could be your green, it could be white, whatever, and just gluing it to the back so that you have a piece that's just a little bit thicker, okay? You could, if you wanted to do that with the legs, but I don't typically do that with the legs. Mainly just with the torso, the body, and then I also do a kind of a reinforcement with the head. So the first thing that you want to do with the head is you're going to glue the face and hat part onto this head and neck. So you would do a glue and put those two pieces together. Now, in this case, because this hat there's lots of areas where it gets very thin, I do like to kind of reinforce that. So what I do is I cut out, once I have it here, I will put it against some more cardstock, cut out this shape, okay, and then glue it onto the back here. So I would lay that layer over top of this. And I'm just going to show you that here with this one. So you've got the head and the neck, and then I glued an extra piece on. I don't know if you can see that, but there's an extra piece on the back here, and that just makes it a little bit sturdier and thicker. So that's what I suggest. Again, you can do this however you'd like. If you, if you're fine with the hat as is, because it's just going to be, if it's not reinforced, it's going to be a little bit more flimsy here. So just keep that in mind. But if you're cool with it, just print out these pieces. And then now I'm going to show you how to assemble them with brads. So first of all, this is a brad. So it's a little, let's see, it's just a little piece. I mean, they look kind of like different things, but essentially they have these two little areas here, these two little prongs that you can open up. Let's see if I can. So two little prongs that you can open up, okay? Okay, and so all you're gonna do is just make a little hole where you wanna put the brads. Now, you can do that with like a I can't think of the word right now. I'll think of it and come back to it. Anything that's going to make like a hole punch. That's what I was thinking of. You can do it with like a little hole punch. They do make very small hole punch, but hole punches. But what I like to use instead is just this. This is a compass. And I just use the little pointy edge, the pointy end. And what I do now, I didn't do this before, but it makes it a lot easier, is in order to poke your hole, just put it on something that you don't mind you know, like a piece of fabric or something. Something that's going to be soft, some foam core, but something that you don't mind getting a hole in and just setting it there and then pressing down. And that will make your holes pretty easily. You can put something underneath, you know, just so that you don't poke a hole into, you know, your furniture or anything like that. Put a cutting board or something down underneath. But in terms of the holes, in most cases, you will see like a hole that's already printed there. So you can go by that. In the ones that, you know, that you'll get that you know, where you've copied the body or the feet, I don't have holes, but you can just kind of guesstimate where you think those will be. And essentially, the way that I like to put them together is, for example, you might want to just punch the hole in through the neck first, and then come over to the back side, figure out where you want to place it, turn it over, and then you could just poke a hole on that side. So I've already done holes in these, so I'm just going to kind of put them together right now. And typically I do the head last. I don't know why I'm doing it first this time, but typically I do it last. So when you turn it over, you'll be able to see the two little prongs, and then you're just going to fold them down. Okay, you just fold it down. And so now the head and the neck, the neck can move around. I've already done the brads at the elbows, so I'm just going to do these here at the arms. And the way I do these, again, I put the brad on this side and the arm on the other side. And when you're doing the arms in particular, you kind of want to play with them a little bit, you know, before you punch the holes, just to see, you know, how that arm will move. And then you just keep going. You'll notice on the brads there's like a short side and a long side. So that's helpful if you have like a close edge and you don't want anybody to see the brad on that side. And then you're just going to do the same thing with the legs. What I usually do with the legs first, and you'll notice that this skirt is uneven. So one brad is going to be up high and one is going to be down low. So just set your legs in there first and figure out, make sure that they're in alignment, you know, and then you can just figure out from there where you actually want the legs. You want them far apart, you want them closer together. And I'm using a different color brad just for the legs. I'm just going to poke it through this hole. There's already a hole here. Just remember what direction the feet go in. You'd be surprised how many times I do these things backwards and I have to redo them. And the other side. Okay. And just securing her head a little bit more. And there she is. So once you've got everything printed out, cut out, like I said, I would do a little extra gluing first to reinforce some pieces. It just makes her a little bit sturdier in the head and also through the body. And then I don't do that for the feet. I like to You know, to me, the feet can be a little bit more flexible. I like to have them move around. I don't do it for the arms either. So, you know, play around with it, see what you want to do, and just enjoy making your poppet.